One thing I wish.
So what's the one thing?
What's one thing?
What's the one thing?
What is the one thing?
What is one thing?
One thing I wish.
What's the one thing?
The one thing
is, what do I wish I had known back when I started investing in real estate?
Hi, I'm Money Honey Rachel Richards. You can find me at moneyhoneyrachel.com. And one thing I wish I knew before investing in real estate is that it takes a lot of patience at all phases of investing. So it's really hard to find a deal in the first place. And this is where a lot of people get discouraged. My first deal, it took my husband and I 9 months to find it. And that was after countless offers were made. That was after contracts fell through. So it definitely was discouraging, but you just have to stick with it. Don't settle just because you're starting to get desperate. You will find the right deal. You just have to be patient. You also have to be very patient dealing with tenants. So if that's not something you can do, I'd recommend finding a highly qualified, licensed, insured property management company, because they'll take a lot of that tough work off of your hands. You know, tenants, they will let you down. You can't take it personally. People will pay late. People will have to be evicted at one point or another. And that can be really hard in the long run, but you just have to stay patient. It's a business. And as long as you invest the right way and run the numbers the right way, you will make out ahead in the long run. Thanks, Jay.
Welcome, Jay Helms. I am honored and I'm humbled that you would think of me as an expert in the real estate space. Now, if an expert is someone who's made a ton of mistakes, learned along the way, grown, and continue to take action while knowing that we're going to continue to make mistakes, then I'm the expert here. My motto is done is better than perfect. But you know, to me, there's a lot of things, Jay, that I made mistakes. You know, just to let everyone know who I am, my name is Gino Barbaro. I'm one of the co-founders of Jake and Gino. Now, Jake and I started investing back in 2013, where we bought our first 25-unit property. And then from there, we've scaled up. Our first 1,000 units were bought just with Jake, myself, and a partner. The next 500 units we've syndicated. So I've done it all. I've owner financed, syndicated properties, bought properties. I've been able to refi over $10 million out of that portfolio and continue to scale up. So what's the one thing I wish I knew when I first started with Jake? Very simple. Multifamily real estate, it's a business and it's a team sport. You have to look at it that way. I didn't. I looked at it as an individual assets all over the place. I couldn't scale up. I didn't know how to scale up, but I was thinking about it as a mom and pop. You know, ironically, we buy from mom and pops. That's who we buy from. And I was acting like a mom and pop. I was hoarding my resources. I wasn't helping people out. I was thinking of the I'm a mentality. I'ma do this, I'ma do that. I wish I didn't have that mentality. I would have scaled up a lot quicker. You know, it's all about your network in real estate. It's all about trying to think of it as a business. Listen, I had one restaurant for over 20 years. One restaurant for over 20 years, having that mom and pop mentality. In real estate, we've got over 1,500 units in like 1/3 the time that I did with the restaurant. So if there's one bit of advice that I want you all to take out there, think of real estate, especially multifamily real estate, as a scalable business, and think about growing your net worth and your network out there by giving value to people and really trying to connect with people. Jay, I hope this helped you all out there. Everybody, our motto is let's go out there and let's make it happen. Thanks, everyone.
What's up, everybody? It's Matt Porcaro from the 203K Way, at the 203K Way on Instagram, 203ksecrets.com. The question is, what's one thing that I wish I knew when I just started when I just got started in real estate investing, or when I first, started my journey? And looking back, there's really two things. Number one, most importantly, and I have to say this because this is what I like to tell people about all the time, is I wish I knew a little earlier about renovation loans, okay? A lot of people know about the live-in flip strategy. Really, the strategy there is you just move into a house that you like and you can live in for a little amount of time. You know, you renovate it to your liking, you build some equity into it, you sell it, and then you go on and do it again, right? It's a really awesome system. It's a way that I know a lot of investors got started, a lot of flippers got started. But for me, when I first started looking into real estate investing and when my interest peaked in it, I took a lot of different courses and followed a lot of different followed a lot of different books and videos and stuff, and they were all kind of directing me, hey, if you want to get started in real estate investing, you can start with this thing called wholesaling, which is finding off-market deals for other investors and other flippers. And I struggled with that for a really long time, 3 years with no deal, basically. And it was super frustrating. And it wasn't until a mentor of mine told me about the 203K loan, the 203K renovation loan. And she let me know that if you live in the property, you can trade off basically paying only 3.5% down and wrapping all your renovation costs into one mortgage. So I didn't have to, I didn't have to come up with a ton of money. I didn't have to come up with, these crazy off-market deals. I was able to just do this with foreclosures that were on the market. So the 203K loan is really something I wish I knew earlier, and all renovation loans for that matter, because it gives you the ability to buy and renovate a house that you like and up to your liking, and then maybe one day when you're ready to sell it off, you have all that equity that you built in the process of the flip. So that is absolutely one of the main things that I wish people knew earlier, like I wish I knew earlier. And just to add on and piggyback on that, guys, it was 3 years of not really finding anything, but I'd say that the other tip that I could give anyone just starting out is that you're never gonna be 100% ready. You're never gonna be 100% ready. That is kind of a farce, and if you think you're gonna study and read your way into feeling confident enough to buying your first deal, it'll never happen. Take a leap of faith. Trust me, everything will work out. I promise you. You need to be maybe 50% confident, 60% confident, just a little bit over the hump, and have that good gut feeling that this is probably the right one, and just take the leap of faith. It's totally worth it, and I guarantee you'll never look back. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Beadles here with addictedtoroi.com. So the question is, what's the one thing that I wish that I knew when I was just getting started out investing in real estate? And for me, that answer would be, I wish that I knew about the BRRRR strategy when I had gotten started investing in 2007. So at the time, I was putting 20 to 25% down on properties that were rental properties that we weren't living in. And we were also implementing a owner-occupant strategy where my husband and I took turns getting loans in our own name, owner-occupying for a year, moving out and renting out the property. Well, that got old pretty quickly, and we were searching for a way to scale quicker. We wanted to achieve financial freedom in 5 years or less, and a lender friend of mine let me in on the BRRRR strategy. And basically how that works is you can buy a property that is undervalued, renovate it, rent it out, refinance it, and recoup all of your initial investment such that you can repeat the process and buy additional rentals. So we did several BRRRRs in 2010 once we first learned about that strategy, and it allowed us to move so much faster than having to save the down payment, putting 20 or 25% down. And so now we've done BRRRRs in state, out of state, we've done BRRRRs on multifamily properties, and kind of really expanded the strategy so that we could scale quicker. And here we are in 2020, 13 years into our investing journey. We have 239 units, and we were able to achieve financial freedom from all of the cash flow from our rental properties, mostly in part due to learning about that BRRRR strategy. So if you're just getting started and you're running into this challenge of how do you continue to invest without running out of capital, that's a great strategy to recycle the capital that you have so that you can continue to buy properties and scale up quicker.
What is the one thing that I wish that I knew before I got started investing in real estate? And my answer is the stories that we tell ourselves in our head. Like, you're having a conversation in your head, the mindset piece of everything that goes on in our life, our business, real estate investing, that one deal that you're looking for, you get knocked down and get beat up in this business and anything else that we do. And that conversation and what you tell yourself is the most important. So I wish that I focused more on the mindset and structure of how I think and the stories that I tell myself in my head than I did the tactics, the techniques, the strategy, those kind of things up front. So I really wish that I built that out in the beginning and really kind of worked and developed myself. And I did that along this journey. So along this journey from like doing one deal to hundreds of deals a year, it happened, but I wish that I really focused on it and thought about it more in the beginning. We have to fail, like failure is required. It's not just like optional or it's okay. Like it really is truly required in this business. You've got to screw up, you've got to make mistakes, you've got to fail, and it's what you do after that that is going to define your success. So I guess like take the action, don't be afraid to fail, actually encourage don't try to fail, but really it's okay. Like that, it's required. Everybody that's successful in this business or any other business has failed more times than they can count and more times than they can tell you in that story. So that's a big thing for me, is be okay with failure. Don't be afraid to fail. And when you do, it's what happens after that. It's the story that you tell yourself in your head of what's going on and how you brush yourself off and get back up and how fast you do it that will determine the speed at which you succeed. So that's my answer. I hope it helps.
Hey, Jay from W2 Capitalist here. The question is, what is one thing I wish I knew before I started investing in real estate? And I think that one thing would have to be that practically anybody can do it. You surround yourself with the right people, you start looking for the right answers, you start looking for how to do it regardless of your net worth or how much you make annually in a year, and you can do this. I say a lot of times that I am just an average Joe. My coach, he jokes about how I'm an average J. Hope you get the dad joke. But yeah, this is real estate investing is not just a rich person's game. Matter of fact, I think everybody should have, I heard a quote the other day that multiple streams of income used to be a luxury and now it is a requirement, just given the landscape of how corporate America works now, and you've got to have those multiple streams of income. And I focus on filling that gap passively through real estate investing, and yeah, I used to think that I had to be extremely rich. You don't have to be extremely rich. My first property that my wife and I bought was a $22,000 foreclosure. It was in an up and coming part of town. We put I think it was $9,000 into it. As soon as it was ready to rent, it rented for $600 a month. Incredible property, incredible experience, and that's how we got our start. Now we're up to 328 units, and trust me, I'm an average guy, right? So the one thing that I wish I would have known, and I wish I would have known sooner, would be that anybody with a desire and will to add multiple streams of income can do so through real estate investing.
The question is, one thing I wish I knew before I started investing in real estate. Hi, I'm Anette Talie from Talie Investments, and the one thing I wish I knew before I started investing is networking. And I didn't really understand what networking meant, and I just thought I just go to an event and talk to people, but I didn't realize you have to talk to people and then also follow up with people, and the more that you network, the more you get to know people. So, and there's a lot of reasons why I think networking is the one thing that is important when you're starting. It's because first of all, you surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do. And so this will give you, first of all, it's contagious. It's going to get you to want to do what they are doing, and you're going to see the strategies that they are using, and you're going to see how they think. And so you are going to start thinking like they are thinking. So when you start going to networking events, meetups, you go to events where you learn, like boot camps or real estate, all kinds of real estate events, you're gonna meet people, and if you follow up and you start emailing, or if you connect on Facebook, LinkedIn, or anywhere in social media, they are gonna start becoming your friends. If you go to meetups every week, every month, the people that are doing things, they are gonna be there too. And so you are gonna start creating this small group of people that become your friends, and some of them can end up becoming your mentors, and some of them could be your partners eventually. So if you surround with like 5 people that are doing what you want to do, then you are going to become the 6th person. The other reason is because you're going to be learning. You're going to be learning from these people. Like I said, you're going to see the strategies that they are doing, and you're going to be able to ask them, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this? So then you're going to be learning with them. And the other thing is, like I said, it's contagious. So you're gonna be encouraged to do things that maybe you thought that you were not capable of doing. You're gonna see that they are doing it, and you're gonna be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. So anyways, for me, networking has been a big difference. Joining a mastermind where I surround myself virtually, because it's a virtual mastermind, with people that are doing what I want, has been a tremendous change in my investing. And some of these people in the mastermind became my friends, and now we are partners. So it's very important to network. I hope this helps, guys. Bye.
Hey there, my name is Michael Blank with themichaelblank.com. What's the one thing that I would have known before investing in real estate? And number one would be about passive income. So when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it was like, it's like that my eyes were open. But more importantly, subsequently to that, I got in a variety of different businesses to try to generate passive income. One of them was, of course, real estate investing. And it's like so many people, I got started with single family houses, flipping houses, landlording, until I discovered that it's not actually passive income that you generate from single family houses, and it's very difficult to scale. So the one thing I would have known before getting into real estate investing is to go right into multifamily investing. And that's what themichaelblank.com is all about. It teaches people how to buy apartment buildings by raising money from private individuals. And I didn't think this was possible because I thought I needed a bunch of experience that I would get through single family house investing. And now I know that's not true. I don't need a bunch of experience. It's very easy to overcome that experience with education and by building a team around you. And the second thing I thought is I needed a bunch of money. So I was going to earn a bunch of money from the house flips and then graduate and invest in apartment buildings. That's also not true, because you can raise this money from people. And the combination of that really is what someone hope would have told me at the time. I would have skipped a lot of things. I would have skipped getting into restaurants. I would have skipped into single family house flipping. And that is the number one thing that I want to encourage you guys to consider. And I wrote a book, this yellow one, The Financial Freedom with Real Estate Investing. So if you want to find out more about that and see if that's right, if you check that book out, it's on Amazon. And then check out our podcast, the Apartment Building Investing Podcast with Michael Blank, as well as our free resources on YouTube and the blog at themichaelblank.com. Hope you find that useful. Catch you guys next time.
Hey you guys, it's Amy Mahjoory from Blue Ink Homes. The question is, what is the one thing I wish I knew earlier before getting started in real estate? For me, hands down, I wish I understood the value and the power of raising private money. Here's why. When I first got into real estate, I had a lot of the common fears that many of us have. Oh, no one's gonna lend me money. I don't have any experience. I don't have any credit, or I don't have any liquidity. So I'm gonna just go ahead and try to prove myself first and use my own money on my first deal. Here's why that was a mistake, a lesson learned. Because now I truly believe in the power of raising capital, and I leverage from that on every single project. So my very first deal, I ended up putting in my own money into the property, and it was about, this was in 2013, maybe like $45,000 or $50,000 for the gap funding. Well, here's what happened. So I'm in the middle of renovating this condo in downtown Chicago, and two amazing rental properties landed on my desk, came across my desk, and I wasn't able to pull the trigger on them because guess what? I didn't have the money for the down payment. So I quickly realized that, hey, had I taken the time to learn how to raise private money and gone out there and done that on my very first deal, then I would have been able to use my own money, the $45,000 or $50,000, to move forward with one or two of these rental properties and start to build my passive income, my path to retirement. So that's the one thing I wish I would have started to do sooner. So hopefully you guys will keep that in mind and apply that to your own business.
Hey guys, what's up? Seth here, retipster.com. The question is, what do I wish I had known back when I started investing in real estate? And for me, something that has really been very, very powerful, and it took me years to figure this out, is that it's not just about becoming an expert or, obsessing about one single real estate investing strategy, but it really gets powerful when you can become an expert in two. But I think if you can become an expert in 2 different things, it can really kind of bring you to the next level and kind of eliminate any competition that you would have had. Like, for example, it's one thing if you can become an expert in wholesaling real estate, because you're going to have access to a lot of amazing deals that the average person won't have. But what if you were not only an expert in finding those deals, but you were also an expert in buying rental properties? I mean, you could, jumpstart the growth of your rental property portfolio a lot faster than the average person. Or what if you were not only a commercial real estate broker, but you were also an expert blogger or podcaster or YouTuber? I mean, you could grow your audience and client base so much faster if you had the kind of power that a YouTuber does and you have the knowledge of a commercial real estate broker. I mean, everybody can and should become an expert at one thing. But if you can manage to become an expert at 2 things that can kind of go hand in hand and support each other and kind of jumpstart the growth of the other thing, I mean, that's when things get really exciting and you kind of have this unfair advantage in what you're doing because everybody else who is your competitor isn't also doing thing number 2. Like, for example, I'm not only an expert in running a land investing business, but I'm also an expert in running a blog and an online community, which just truly gives me an unfair advantage in the market because there may be plenty of other land investors out there and there may be plenty of other bloggers out there, but there's not that many people who do both of them. I mean, I'm really kind of operating in a league of my own. So I think if you can manage to become an expert in at least 2 different things, that can give you a lot of leverage that most other people don't have.